Hello, welcome to lesson number 4 in the third week of the Watcher course. Disclaimer: this lesson is about awareness. So you may identify a series of behaviors that we're going to discuss here that you are used to do, okay? And I hope that by the end of this lesson, you understand that even though these behaviors seem harmless, they may be causing not only unintentional and unwanted consequences to you and to your child, but they are also putting you at risk. So let's get into it. What we're going to talk here about is the risk of oversharing. There is even a new term that's been recently tailored about this, which is sharenting, right? And let's dive into this so you understand what we're talking about here. So what's on the agenda? We're going to define oversharing, understand the common ways in which children unintentionally overshare, and then how parents also unintentionally overshare, and the consequences of oversharing. So, what is oversharing? It's not just giving out your address, right? But it's also sharing seemingly harmless details that can help ill-intended and malicious people identify and locate you. So how does it happen, right? There is something that's called context collapse. So you share information with only a few people who you know well, and only a couple of them share it with other people that they know well. And these people share with others who share with others, and before you know it, there is a multitude of people who have received your photos and your information without you even knowing any of them. So sometimes you provide excessive details, personal details, right, that are not necessary for the context of the interaction, but you provided them anyway, right? So that's oversharing, okay? And the problem is the hackers are out there always looking at information they can use to profit and gain an advantage on somehow. Okay, so it's hard for people who have never really given this much thought or read anything about it to understand what sort of information is okay to share publicly or not. So what are some common ways that children overshare? Well, sharing location, right? They post photos with recognizable landmarks or using apps that allow to show the location, to share the location. They reveal details about their school, right? So wearing uniform, showing the school logo, mentioning the school name. They show their routine, so places they go regularly on the same schedule, right? Or sometimes when nobody's home, or sometimes the whole family go to these places, and you can identify that, hey, on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5 p.m. there's nobody in their home. That's something you don't want people you don't know knowing, right? Sharing the house number on pictures, right? So the house number, the license plate from your car. These are items that can help identify location or obtain more personal details about the people involved, right? And all these pictures that you're seeing here in this presentation, I got them from the internet, okay, guys? So they are out there, and these are examples of people sharing stuff they shouldn't be, right? Another common way that children unintentionally share more than they should is online chatting, right? Especially in video games where they think they have friends who they never met and don't even know if they are really children. And they share personal details with these people, right? How do parents overshare without even knowing? First, and here it is, sharenting, right? So posting photos, videos, and stories with their children without considering future issues about what they are posting on the child's digital footprint. Birthdays, right? Birthdays are automatically sharing the date of birth of the kids, right? And this sort of information we've seen before can be used in frauds and scams. Tagging schools, tagging the place where they go to practice regular activities like sports, music, dancing. You're sharing location, you're sharing routine, you're sharing schedules, okay? Vacations, regular vacations, like you always go to a beach house on the weekends or every 2 weeks. You're sharing routines, you're sharing the information that you're not home on those days regularly, right? And this could be exploited. So the consequences of oversharing. Predators will use this data to build a profile of you, of your kids, right? And to track and to approach the child. This here is a very famous picture from 2012, right? Social networks were emerging back then. Mobile phones were becoming popular with cameras, and this was funny back then, but this child is now at least 16 or 18 years old, 12, 13, and you can bet he's suffering bullying because of this picture. And he's probably going to suffer bullying because of it for a long time. And identity theft, right? So frauds, the acquisition of services and goods using false identity, using the data that you and your child probably overshared over the internet. And there is this saying that words are like arrows, right? Once released, you can't bring them back. Well, the same goes for data on the internet. Once something is posted online, you cannot get it removed, no matter how hard you try, right? And this can negatively impact your child's future, their reputation, and who knows what this information will be used for against them, right? Another bad consequence of it is the break of trust, right? So your child will look at it and will ask you, how could you share this? What were you thinking, right? Why did you not ask me if I was okay with you sharing this about me? So this can seriously hurt the trust between you and your child. So that's it for this lesson. I hope you are now more aware of the risks of oversharing. You understand what oversharing is, how both parents and children overshare, and the terrible consequences that oversharing can have. I hope you learned something, and if you thought this was useful and you're watching this on YouTube, please like and share and subscribe to our channel. And remember, the third week which is the one you're watching now, is the last one we're going to be sharing on YouTube. The last 3 modules of this course, which are for weeks 4, 5, and 6, will only be available in our free online community. So you can join it by clicking on the link on this video's description, on the channel description, or in the first commentary for this video. Thank you, and I see you next class. Bye-bye.